Coming to you, Samir, how can technology be leveraged to enhance EVP in a post-pandemic world?
I mean, let me put it this way. I don't think one can do it without leveraging technology. There is nothing which is a low-touch technology space anymore in any industry, irrespective of whatever industry we are working in. Communication forums within and outside the organization have been radically transformed by the way tech works. But other than communication tech, which would be social media and so on and so forth, I mean, forums and so where people use to communicate to each other. While that is surely that is an area that the organization has to leverage. So an organization has to be very conscious if at all they want to have an online presence. If they want to have an online footprint, what is the kind of footprint that exists online, and the fact that it gets managed carefully. How
is Shalina doing technology involvement?
So tech involvement actually, like I said, on this front, when it comes to being attractive as an employer, one is what it does in terms of how it presents itself outside. So there are teams that are careful or that look after, that manage the LinkedIn page, for example. There would be teams that manage the Instagram page. There'll be teams that manage other social media footprints that exist. But that is one part of the tech, honestly, Piyush. I think the other part of the tech is how the organization is using tech inside its own setup. If I am looking at an employer, let's say if I'm looking at moving into an organization, okay, by and large, what is the kind of tech that the organization is using, how tech savvy or how tech aligned they are, sends a big message to me as to how progressive the organization is. So if organizations are using, talk about using or are very explicit in using even tech elements like Power BI, even tech elements like various kinds of dashboards that exist, chatbots that exist. All of these are smaller elements that add in to the overall EVP, because they do go far in actually creating an image of the organization in the eyes of a prospective employee. They are proxy for how with it the organization is when it comes to tech.
Are these organizations ready to invest in technology for these EVPs to get implemented? Are the companies ready?
Oh yes. So one of the fastest areas of growth in tech, so the entire HR tech space has been growing phenomenally. There are huge success stories. Darwinbox is one of them, where organizations have become unicorns and have gone on to multi-billion-dollar valuations in just a few years in the areas of HR tech. So that's a clear indicator that organizations are willing to invest in things like HRMS and human resource management systems. In certain industries such as pharma or clinical industries or whichever are highly regulated industries, there are also regulatory requirements for tech to be enabled. So, for example, having the right technology ensures that there are audit trails. Having the right technology ensures that there are the kind of firewalls that one needs to ensure compliance,
right,
and so on and so forth. So, some part of that tech enablement is driven by statutory needs. Organizations have to put their investments there, but a large part of it is also discretionary. And organizations are taking the step forward and putting their money in